You take zinc when you feel a cold coming on. Maybe you take it every single day. It is in your multivitamin, your immune formula, your morning cereal, your protein powder. You are doing everything right. And here's the part that should stop you cold. That routine, the one you built to protect yourself, may be quietly working against you. Zinc is one of the most essential minerals your body uses. It touches your immune system, your DNA repair, your hormone production. But essential does not mean harmless at any dose. And the way most people take zinc, the timing, the form, the stacking, the daily habit they never question, is where the damage begins. Slow, silent, and very real. This video is not about whether zinc works. It works. The question is whether you are using it in a way that actually helps you, or in a way that chips away at the same biological systems you are trying to protect. We are counting down 7 specific mistakes, ranked from most common to most dangerous. For each one, I am going to show you exactly what is happening inside your body, why it matters, and what to change. By the end, you will know how to calculate your real total zinc exposure from every source in your life, spot the hidden timing and interaction errors most people never catch, and understand the one slow consequence that almost nobody connects back to zinc until it is already causing serious problems. Mistake number 7 is where we start. And it is probably happening to you right now. Mistake number 7. Wrong timing, wrong form, real nausea. You take your zinc supplement and within 20 minutes, your stomach is turning. Most people blame themselves. Sensitive stomach, they say. Zinc just doesn't agree with me. They either push through the discomfort or they quit the supplement entirely. Both responses miss the actual problem. Zinc is chemically reactive. When it hits your stomach lining directly, it can irritate the tissue, triggering nausea, cramping, and sometimes vomiting. The severity depends on 3 things: how much you took, what form you took, and whether you had food in your stomach first. Taking zinc on a completely empty stomach is essentially asking for a reaction. The gastric lining takes the full chemical hit with nothing to buffer it. Here's the part most people never hear. Not all zinc supplements are the same compound. Zinc gluconate, zinc picolinate, and zinc sulfate all deliver zinc, but they differ in how quickly they release it in your gut and how harsh that release feels. Zinc sulfate, for example, tends to be harder on the stomach than zinc gluconate. If one form makes you sick, a different form, at the same dose, with a small amount of food, may cause no reaction at all. The zinc did not change, the delivery did. That distinction matters, because a lot of people swear off zinc entirely when all they needed to do was eat a few crackers first. Splitting a larger dose into 2 smaller ones across the day also reduces irritation without meaningfully reducing how much zinc you absorb. Your gut handles smaller amounts more smoothly. If you have been avoiding zinc because it makes you feel awful, it is worth knowing the problem is almost certainly fixable. Mistake number 6. Taking zinc at the same time as certain medications. This one has real clinical stakes, and almost nobody talks about it. When you swallow zinc alongside certain antibiotics, specifically tetracyclines and quinolones, something happens in your intestine before either substance makes it into your bloodstream. Zinc physically grabs onto the antibiotic molecules in a process called chelation. Think of it like a molecular handcuff. The zinc and the antibiotic lock together, and the resulting compound is too large and poorly structured to be absorbed properly through the intestinal wall. The consequence is bidirectional. You absorb less zinc, and you absorb less of the antibiotic. That second part is the one that should stop you. Tetracyclines and quinolones are prescribed for serious infections. The dose your clinician prescribed is calibrated to reach a specific concentration in your blood and tissues to kill bacteria. If your zinc supplement is binding to a meaningful fraction of that antibiotic in your gut before it can be absorbed, you are not getting the full therapeutic dose at the exact moment you need it most. The infection you are fighting is getting less of the drug than your prescription intended. The irony here is almost painful. The zinc tablet you took to stay healthy while sick may be the same tablet quietly undermining the antibiotic, working to get you well. Timing separation can significantly reduce this interaction. The precise gap depends on the specific antibiotic, so that guidance belongs on the product label and with whoever prescribed the medication. But the principle is simple. Zinc and these antibiotic classes should not share the same 30-minute window in your stomach. Mistake number 5. Mineral competition at the wrong time. Your small intestine is not a simple funnel that absorbs everything you swallow at equal rates. It has dedicated transport channels, and some of those channels are shared by multiple minerals. Zinc, iron, and calcium all compete for access to the same absorption pathways. When you flood those pathways with a high supplemental dose of one mineral, you crowd out the others. The competition is most intense at supplemental doses. Food-based minerals compete much less aggressively because they arrive in smaller, slower, more spread out amounts that the gut handles with less friction. But when you swallow a zinc supplement and an iron supplement and a calcium supplement within the same hour, you are essentially staging a traffic jam at the intestinal wall. Some of what you paid for passes through without being absorbed at all. There is a second layer here that plant-forward eaters need to know. Phytates are natural compounds found in grains, legumes, and beans. They bind to zinc in the digestive tract and reduce how much your body can actually pull out of those foods and out of any supplement you take alongside them. A person eating a high-fiber, plant-heavy diet may be absorbing significantly less zinc than the supplement label implies. So here's the strange reality. That person may be both under-absorbing zinc and simultaneously over-supplementing relative to what their body actually needs, wasteful and risky at the same time. Spacing your mineral supplements across the day is the simplest correction. It is a scheduling fix, not a chemistry fix. Mistake number 4, using zinc as an immune shield. Zinc does support immune function. That part is real. It helps your immune cells develop, activate, and do their jobs. Zinc lozenges started close to the first sign of a cold have shown some evidence of shortening duration in certain studies, though the results vary depending on the product, the dose, and the population tested. So the reputation zinc has earned is not invented. But here is where the thinking goes wrong. Your immune system is not a single dial you can turn up by adding one nutrient. It is a network with dozens of interdependent inputs. Sleep, protein intake, vitamin D status, overall nutritional density, hydration, physical activity. Each of those inputs independently affects how well your immune cells function, and each of them can suppress immunity when they fall short, regardless of your zinc level. Someone sleeping 5 hours a night and taking daily zinc is not running a strong immune system with a supplement on top. They are running a compromised immune system with a supplement on top. The zinc cannot reverse what the sleep debt is doing to their T-cell counts and cytokine production. It does not work that way. No supplement does. Zinc supports the system. It does not replace it. And the people most likely to over-rely on zinc for immune protection are often the same people neglecting the inputs with the strongest evidence. That is not a judgment. It is just a reminder that the supplement cabinet is not the whole picture. Now the tone of this countdown shifts. The first 4 mistakes are behavioral. Change the timing, change the form, space your supplements, expand your model of immunity. Fixable. Relatively fast. Starting here, the mistakes become biological. Cumulative. The kind that develop over weeks and months without a single obvious symptom pointing back to the cause. Pay attention. Mistake number 3, counting only the pill. The adult tolerable upper intake level for zinc is 40 milligrams per day from all sources combined. That number is not a target. It is a ceiling, the level above which health authorities say risk of harm begins to rise meaningfully. Most people who supplement zinc know roughly what their pill contains. What they never do is add up everything else. Here is what a typical supplement stack looks like for someone trying to stay healthy. A standalone zinc supplement, maybe 25 or 30 milligrams. A daily multivitamin with 8 to 15 milligrams of zinc inside it. An immune support formula taken at the first sign of illness, which might add another 10 to 15 milligrams. A zinc lozenge or 2 through the day, each containing anywhere from 10 to 25 milligrams. And a bowl of fortified cereal in the morning that adds a few more milligrams without anyone counting it as a supplement at all. Add those up. The total can reach 60, 70, even 80 milligrams in a single day. Not from reckless behavior. From 4 completely normal products used simultaneously by someone who is just trying to be healthy. The most common path to zinc excess is not one irresponsible megadose. It is 3 or 4 ordinary products sitting in the same cabinet, doing math that nobody ever did. Today is a good day to do that math. Pull out every supplement you take daily and every fortified food you eat regularly. Add the zinc column. Then compare that number to 40. Mistake number 2, taking high-dose zinc every day for months without a break. This is where the biology becomes genuinely serious, and where most people have never been given the information they needed. Your intestinal cells contain a protein called metallothionein. Think of metallothionein as a mineral sponge that lives in the lining of your gut. Its job is to bind minerals and regulate how much of them passes into your bloodstream. When zinc is consistently high, your intestinal cells ramp up metallothionein production in response. The sponge gets bigger and more aggressive. The problem is that metallothionein does not only bind zinc, it binds copper too, and it is not selective about which one it grabs first. When metallothionein levels are elevated from chronic high zinc intake, it traps copper inside the intestinal cells before copper can be absorbed into the bloodstream. Those cells eventually shed, taking the trapped copper with them. It passes out of your body unused. Over time, this produces copper deficiency. The adult recommended daily amount for copper is 900 micrograms per day. Deficiency begins to cause measurable harm below about 700 micrograms. And copper is not optional. Your body uses it to make red blood cells, to maintain the myelin sheath that insulates your nerves, to produce energy at the cellular level, and to support the function of your white blood cells. Copper deficiency from chronic high zinc intake can cause a drop in both red and white blood cell counts, producing a picture that looks like anemia. It can cause neurological symptoms including numbness, weakness, difficulty with balance, and problems with nerve conduction. Those neurological effects are not always reversible once they are established. And they tend to arrive slowly, over months, in ways that feel like fatigue, aging, or some vague decline, not like something traceable to a supplement. Many people taking daily zinc for immunity, testosterone support, sleep, or general healthy aging have never been told this connection exists. That is the gap this video is here to close. Mistake number 1. Taking zinc daily when you may not need it. The recommended daily amount of zinc is 11 milligrams per day for adult men and 8 milligrams per day for adult women, with slightly higher targets during pregnancy and lactation. Zinc is found in red meat, poultry, seafood, dairy, eggs, beans, nuts, whole grains, and fortified foods. Most people eating a varied omnivorous diet reach or come close to the RDA through food alone without a single supplement. In someone who is already zinc sufficient, adding more zinc does not improve immune function beyond normal. It does not reliably boost testosterone in people with normal zinc levels. It does not enhance sleep quality, slow aging, or deliver the broad constellation of benefits that supplement marketing implies. Those benefits apply to correcting a deficiency. They do not apply to topping off a system that is already running at adequate levels. Actual zinc deficiency is real, measurable, and worth correcting when it exists. Older adults, people with certain digestive conditions, strict vegans, and those with poor overall dietary quality are at higher risk and may genuinely benefit from supplementation. But presumptive supplementation, taking zinc daily just in case, because it feels protective, is not the same intervention as correcting a documented shortfall. It carries different risk math entirely. The highest risk group for zinc-driven copper depletion is older adults who are supplementing for multiple goals simultaneously, using a zinc supplement, a multivitamin, and an immune formula together, often for a year or more, without anyone ever adding up the total or checking their copper status. Well-intentioned, consistent, and quietly accumulating a mineral imbalance with every passing month. The most dangerous zinc mistake is not ignoring zinc. It is sustained, careful, daily use in someone who never needed to supplement in the first place, building toward a copper problem that will not announce itself until real damage has already been done. Here is what changed. You walked in thinking zinc was a safe, daily essential, something you add more of when you want more protection. You walk out knowing that essential and harmless at any dose are two completely different things, that your real zinc exposure is almost certainly higher than you thought, and that the most serious consequence of getting this wrong builds silently over months, not in a single dramatic moment. So here is the one action that matters most. Pull out every supplement you take and every fortified food you eat regularly. Add up the zinc column across all of them. Compare that total to 40 milligrams, the daily ceiling for adults from all sources combined. If you have been above that ceiling for months, and especially if you have noticed unexplained fatigue, weakness, or changes in coordination, that is a conversation worth having with a clinician who can actually check your copper status. Drop a comment below. Before today, had you ever added up your total zinc from every source at once? I want to know where you landed. And if you want to understand what copper deficiency actually looks like as it develops, which body systems it hits first, and why the early signs are almost always mistaken for something else entirely, that video is coming next. Subscribe so it finds you when it drops. Here is the thing about essential nutrients. They are tools, precise ones. The same biology that makes zinc critical for your immune cells is the exact same biology that lets excess zinc quietly dismantle your copper supply. That is not a flaw in the design. That is just the cost of working with something real. The cabinet has not changed, but the way you read it has.